Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Teresa if you are new, and as you can tell by the title, I donated my breast milk. So I kind of just wanted to talk about my experience and like the reason, like the real true reason I wanted to make this video is because it was such a touching experience for me. I have no words like really to describe just the experience. So basically, kind of jumping right in, I made my last postpartum update and I talked about how every morning I pump just for like 10 minutes, sometimes 15 minutes if I'm like not getting a lot, just because I pumped like later on in the day. Say we woke up later and I pumped later on in the day. Sometimes I don't have as big of a supply, or as big of, it's not your supply, but as big of an amount coming out because it's later on in the day that I pumped. So in those cases, I would just like pump a little longer. But basically, I every morning will pump for like 10 or so minutes, sometimes 20, and I was just like storing them in the freezer for like emergency purposes. Like say that my body like really couldn't keep up with one of Jaden's growth spurts, or like anything like that. Say that I want to go on a trip or something and like I'm gone for like a day or two. I don't know. A lot of my friends are getting married, so I just like, it's just kind of like a what if scenario thing that I had all this breast milk stored up. And I just wanted to keep my supply up because breastfeeding totally is like a supply and demand. So I just wanted to make sure that my body just had enough for my baby. Basically, we are in the process of just kind of moving all our stuff. We actually ended up buying a school bus that we're renovating. It's pretty much all the way renovated, but there's just like last minute things to do to make it so that it's like our home, and our best friends are helping us with that. So since we're moving and everything, we're like, we need to get rid of I need to get like rid of my breast milk, and I didn't know where I was gonna put it. I was originally going to put it in my mom's freezer, and that was kind of the plan until 2 days ago. Yeah, it was 2 days ago. We were pretty much getting ready to leave, packing up all our stuff, and we were talking with our really good friend that's helping us move and everything and pack up the house and make it all looking nice and everything. She was like, why don't you donate your milk? And I have talked about before, I think even in my postpartum video, that I definitely want to donate my milk. I don't necessarily feel like 100% comfortable taking money from someone for like my breast milk, like making someone pay for it. I don't know. It's just my way of giving back. I don't feel like that should be paid for because it's so healthy for babies that I'm just like, I could potentially help a baby, and I don't feel like I want to get compensated for that. So I'm a little weird in that regard, but basically she was mentioning that to us, and it just like reminded me like, yeah, I totally do want to donate my milk. So I was like in Jaden's room, like meditating and pumping. That's just like what I do every morning. And John comes in and he's like, oh hey, or he actually sent me the ad, and then he was like, oh hey, like I posted the ad for your breast milk. And I was like, okay, awesome, because like I've just been busy taking care of Jay that I just like little things just kind of slide. And so I was like looking at the ad and I was like, this is awesome. I just had such a good feeling about just like being able to donate it. And that's what he put on there. He was like, we'll accept donations or like whatever you want to give us for it, but really I wouldn't have accepted anything for it. It's coming from my heart. And he posted it on KSL, which is like, I think it's only Utah and Idaho based. It might be more than that, like more than just like Utah and Idaho, but basically it's like a Craigslist but for like Utah and Idaho. So definitely like locally based. And literally within like 20 minutes, this amazing mama called me, and she left me a voicemail because I don't answer numbers I do not know. And so she left me a voicemail, and she was just like, I could hear it in her voice. She was just like, well, first she was like saying, "Hey, John," because it was for him. It was like the classified, the ad was under his name. So she's like, "Hey, John, I'm calling about the breast milk and I'm in desperate need because I have triplets. Triplets, 7-month-old triplets." And I could just hear it in her voice how much she needed this breast milk. And so we were like texting back and forth, like kind of all day long, because I mean, life is crazy with just one. Like, life is crazy with me just taking care of Jay and like just making sure she's okay, making sure she's content and happy. I cannot even imagine life with triplets and them being 7 months old, because that's like when they start to crawl and explore, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So we were just kind of like texting back and forth, like kind of playing phone tag, text style. And so I was just like setting up a time with her, and we were like figuring out what we were gonna do, because we were planning to leave like earlier in the afternoon, but that turned into way late at night, and eventually we were able to be there. So she let me know that her dad was gonna be there to pick up the breast milk, and he came from like way far out of town, I'm pretty sure. And I'm not the greatest with directions. So he ended up calling me, her dad did. He ended up calling me and he was like, "Hey, like I don't know how to really get there." And I was like, "Let me give you to someone that knows what they're doing." So I gave the phone to John, and he got them there. He got her dad he got her dad there safely and sound. Like, he was able to find it, which like if he was on the phone with me, it would have taken forever for me to kind of explain and whatever. I get to work on being better at directions. So anyway, I went back inside and I was hanging out with my friends, because it was kind of them saying like bye as we were like leaving, because we're pretty much going to be gone for like a month or two, and then like be back for like different things going on, like baby showers and whatnot. So it was kind of like my last like hurrah with them, and it turned it into a really funny night. But I was inside like talking with them, and then John came back in, and I was like talking with him, and he's like, "Oh my goodness, like what the grandpa was telling me of the triplets, her, like this lady's dad was saying that the triplets are actually sick. Like they're really sick, and they haven't been eating because they haven't been tolerating formula very well. And this breast milk was pretty much going to save them." Like, he went way out of his way to come pick it up, and then is going way even so much more out of his way to go drop it off really late at night, just because he knows how much his little granddaughters or grandkids, I don't know if they're boys or girls or whatever, but he knew that they weren't feeling well, and they weren't doing well, and they weren't tolerating formula, they weren't tolerating it, and she didn't have any breast milk to give them. And the fact that I can provide life, like I get speechless, because like they were sick, and I put so much energy and time and all of that into making sure I'm pumping every morning. And I didn't know what I was like really pumping for. I like knew like eventually I wanted to donate it. I don't know, maybe it's like gonna keep up my supply, whatever. But like, it's just such an amazing feeling to be able to give back in that way. And this isn't me just being like, yeah, I donated, look at me go. It's like literally from the bottom of my heart, I feel so honored to be able to help these babies that weren't eating. They literally were not eating, and the fact that I can help them in that way, like, it just like blows my mind. And I'm hoping that I can still continue to pump and help her. I really want to help her specifically, because triplets, like, they need it. Like, they need it. She's going through a lot. I can only imagine three babies. And so I'm hoping I still can. We're out of town, so I don't know. I'm thinking of figuring out how to ship my milk. I don't know. I will figure it out. I'm also hoping that someone has milk for her as well. So if you are interested in donating milk, I 100% 1000% suggest doing it, because it literally is saving little babies' lives, like 100%. So that's just pretty much what I wanted to talk about, and it literally put everything into perspective for me, because I'm like, I have a healthy baby, and I am so grateful that I can feed her in that way. And even if I couldn't, feed her, I am just grateful that she's healthy, that she is healthy and well. It just puts everything into perspective, that like there are times when I'm so tired and I can get kind of like complainy and like not look at my blessings, not count my blessings, and literally everything's a blessing. And that's what I just keep reminding myself, that just me waking up is a blessing, me having a healthy daughter is a blessing, me having John is a blessing, me just breathing and being able to even connect here on YouTube is a blessing. Like everything is a blessing. So how many times can I say blessing? Anyway, guys, I hope you have an amazing day. If you'd like, you can follow me on Instagram. Some days I post a ton, some days I don't, and it's really just to my story, because like it's when I'm feeling like super positive and I'm just like, yeah, let's post. So I'll put my handle somewhere here, but it's @_Mother Teresa. And I can't believe it, but Jaden's like 3.5 months old now, and she is freaking growing like a weed. I don't understand. Anyway, guys, I hope you have an awesome, awesome day. I will talk to you later. Bye.